On our very first interview of the week, our guest is here behind the scenes. Just give me a thumbs up if you're ready to join us. Awesome. I always ask because you never know what's going to happen. Now, I will let you know that I do hear some feedback.
Okay, just a moment.
Yeah.
Well, microphone might be on. Had the computer set up. All right, is this better?
I don't hear me. Oh, wait, no, I can hear me.
All right, can you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you.
All right.
So then what we'll do is we'll just kind of give a warning to people. There's an echo.
Okay.
If you want to turn on closed captioning and mute it, that's perfectly fine. That's what it's there for. So hopefully this works.
All right, let's give it a go.
Yeah. So Nigel, I'd love to start. Is that how you say your name?
Yes, it is. Perfect.
Awesome. I love to start off each interview by asking a specific question.
Okay.
And it's designed just to shake things up so that we don't get those auto responses. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. If you could have other people describe you in 3 words, what would you love those 3 words to be?
Passionate.
Oh, okay.
Empathetic.
Yeah.
Leader.
Passionate, empathetic, and leader. And I'm going to write that down as Nigel. Okay. So, of course, the follow-up question is going to be why? What do those words have to do with the business that you have and the message that you have?
Really, because I'm passionate about what I do. I'm passionate about helping others. I feel the passion to inspire others just to be great. And sometimes that means being different. That's really what I'm about, is helping others achieve their next level.
Ooh. So what does next level mean to you?
Well, it depends on the person, because each person has their own next level. I don't define success purely on dollars or books sold or whatever. Everybody's going to have their own level of success. John Wooden said it best: if you're better than you were yesterday, then your day was a success. And that's what I want people to know, is that you don't have to go and lift 500 pounds or deadlift 300 or run the marathon to be great. You just have to get up and do something better than you were yesterday and define your own level of greatness. So when people ask me what success looks like, for me, it's a completely different what success looks like for somebody else. And I want everybody to realize that it's your level, not mine. My definition for success for me is I get better every day doing what I do. For somebody else, it might just be getting up. For somebody else, it might mean hitting those extra 2 baskets. For my students, it means answering those questions they couldn't answer before. Or as teachers, when we see the, I get it moment.
Yes.
Those are the moments that really make us smile. When that student gets, I get it now. I get it. And for them, that's a successful day when they pick up one new concept. So it varies. So you can't really, I believe that you can't really define success for everybody. Everybody has their own definition of success.
So then what does the next level feel like?
Oh, it feels the exhilaration.
Yeah.
It is something it's really hard to describe. You can call it dopamine, you can call it chemicals in your systems, but that feeling you get inside when you accomplish something you didn't think was possible. Oh man, that felt so good. Or man, I did that. Or that was good. That was fun. Had a game this weekend with the girls, and they came out a close game, and the best player said, it was a tight game. It was fun. Just getting that, reaching that exhilaration feeling. That's what I want everybody to feel. Now, I don't think everybody feels that on a basis, or not a daily basis. But it's the best feeling in the world, just accomplishing something.
Well, then can we take a moment to just feel that feeling right now and
Oh,
with
absolutely.
examples of yours and Lisa's in mind and just take a few seconds to ask the audience the same thing?
Yeah, like what's
Oh,
your exhilaration feeling? What makes you feel?
I just had an exhilaration moment last week at the gym. Back in 2011, I was in a bicycle accident where instead of hitting an SUV, I hit a telephone pole instead. I hit right above both knees. And ever since then, I've had major knee issues to the point where I couldn't walk earlier last year and I would fall in my house about 10 times a day. So last week at the gym, I've been really working on my joints. And it got to the point where I could do a squat without touching anything, all the way down to the floor and back up. And I'm looking in the mirror and I have tears in my eye. I'm so excited. And the guy beside me is like, what is going on? But I didn't care because I was so happy. That's my exhilaration moment. Mm-hmm. What about you, Lisa?
I think one of the things that came to mind for me when you were talking about that is how often do we just let those exhilaration moments just pass us by? And we kind of forget, that we had that moment of greatness. And so we forget about it. And then we're just kind of going through life. And then we have it again. And it's like, oh, I remember this feeling. How can we be more intentional about finding those moments and looking for those moments?
Great question. And that's really so important is you got to celebrate the small victories along the way. I always tell my players and I tell the people that you got to enjoy it. Enjoy this game. We have a 24-hour rule that you enjoy it for at least 24 hours. Or in some cases, I've talked to players who have lost championship games and high school kids and so forth. And I like to say to them, hey, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's one game, but I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to give you 24 hours to let it sink in. Cry over it. Get sad over it. Then let's move on because you're more than just a basketball player. Same thing with victories. You got to enjoy them. Enjoy it for those 24 hours before you get ready for the next one. Because there's always the next one. But you got to take those times to enjoy it. Whether it's you go out and you get yourself a little score treat afterwards or a little mini blizzard after a good workout. And you look at, wow, I got that extra pump in today. Enjoy it. Because the oldest saying, and one of the oldest sayings is success is a journey, not a destination.
Mm-hmm.
And that is so true because it's what happens to you along the way that makes you awesome. So take the time to enjoy it.
Yep. So I'm going to ask the audience, since we are talking about it right now, just take the next, 7 seconds. Let's just do 7 seconds to think about a moment. You don't have to tell the whole story, but just think about that moment that got you so exhilarated and excited. And we're going to count down with you. Okay? I'm going to go 7. And how did that feel? Like, I just want you to lean into that moment of what Nigel's talking about so that you can feel it as we're all feeling it and moving forward. Hopefully the audience can do that. What would you love to have them do with that feeling? What do you do with your clients when you take them through the next step?
It's not so much my clients, but my students and my players, is that we remember that moment. Mm-hmm. Visualize what it feels like to have that feeling and just lock it in your brain. So when you're going through something tough the next time, you can remember that feeling. It's a feeling you're always fighting for. It's kind of like in golf, which is the most addicting sport ever, because you hit that one perfect shot in golf, and that's the shot you always want to keep hitting. And you always want to keep hitting. So you could have one perfect shot out of 106, and you think you had a good day because you want to go hit that shot again. So you want to feel that. You want to remember that. How does your body feel? How does it react? Let it sink in. If you journal, write it down. Oh, and just embrace it and let that fuel you for the next day or the next moment for that matter.
I actually started writing a journal specifically for that purpose of just remembering what that feeling was like. And it's over on the shelf I was showing Lisa earlier, and it just says on the front, "You are enough." And so in there, I'll write gratitude, I'll write affirmations, declarations, even just awarenesses, but more on how I want to feel, not necessarily, spinning in the spirals of the negative emotions. It's like, yes, I feel this, and yet I'm still striving for this equal and opposite emotion over here too.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what it is. It's always striving to move forward, but realizing that you've been there. It's like you can go mountain climbing and you reach that plateau, put the flag in, look down and say, yeah, wow, look how far I've come. I'm not stopping now. I'm going to keep going. Look at where you've come. Don't look at the future, but enjoy the present. Ted Lasso says it's a present, it's a gift. That's why it's called a present. That's one of my favorite sayings ever. Ted didn't make it up, but Ted just said it. But it's the present. That's why it's a gift.
I really like what you said earlier when you talked about even the losses, even sitting with the losses, because I think we can learn so much from that. And I think it's understanding that emotions are not bad. You can be sad, you can be disappointed, and it's important to feel all of those things. It's also important, I will often tell my clients, don't unpack and live there, but make sure that you feel those feelings, because then that makes the highs that much better. And one of the things that came up for me was I was writing, I needed to write a new bio for something. And so I started writing the bio, and I started writing down the different publications that I've been in, or the different podcasts that I've been on, or different things that I've done. And I was like, I forgot about so many of these things. And so it was able to take me back into that spot going, oh, I loved being on that podcast, or I loved doing that talk for that company, or, writing that article. So it was able to bring me back into the feeling. So it's almost one of those things where maybe I'm going to just challenge all of our listeners to go and write a bio, go and write if you have to tell somebody about who you are or your accomplishments or what you've done, write it down as a bio. I know some people will do it as a eulogy. Do it as a bio. It feels so much better.
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Don't need the eulogy. Just need the bio and the references. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Celebrate it, because we are all absolutely awesome in our own way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes each and one of us special. And that it's our differences that makes us great. Because I don't want everybody to be the same. I don't want 10 Michael Jordans on my team because someone ain't getting the ball. I want a team. I want everybody different. So I can embrace that. I'm fortunate to coach with my oldest daughter. We don't always agree on everything, but that's what makes us great, is that we have difference of opinions and we can bounce them back and forth off each other. And sometimes she's right. Sometimes she'll say all the time, and that's the best part about it, is I don't want a yes man beside me. I want someone who's going to challenge me, just like in life. I want someone who's going to challenge me, make me better.
So then there's definitely a personal story behind this of why you got into this work. Can you give us even just a glimpse? I don't want to push you further than you want to share, but however far you want to go, we would love to know why it is that you do this work. Why not something else?
Really, it's an extension of what I've been doing for the last 20 years. And my dad was a teacher. I started in the banking business, eventually graduated to teaching, and started coaching youth sports with my kids because they needed a coach. I just fell in love with the coaching aspect of it. Started with soccer, moved to basketball, learned about the game, but all along in my job as a banker, my job as a teacher, it was all about educating others and helping them be better. And it was just a passion inside me. So 3 years ago, Mom and Dad passed. I said, I got to take care of yourself. Started taking care of myself because I've always serviced others, servicing myself, transformed my health, dropped 80 pounds, slimmed up a bit, a lot, not a bit. And throughout that whole time, I started journaling and thinking, what are the things you're feeling? Started posting on social media. And I said, I want to take this out to youth across everywhere in their gymnasiums. Speak to them. Speak to them at conferences. Let them know that, yeah, you can be great because I did it. I've seen others do it. And you can do it, but I'm here to help. I've been, even before I was coaching. I remember back in teachers college, they used to call me coach because it's just, so Mom and Dad instilled in me. Dad was a teacher, Mom was a nurse, always about servicing others. And I thought, why not go out there and service others on a grander scale? Write the book, Be Different, Be Great. Talk about the process to greatness. And go out and share that message with youth who need it, who need to know that being different's okay. And I'm going to help you along the way. I'm going to show you the steps how to get there. It ain't always pretty, but it's worth it. And that's really where my passion just comes when I'm speaking to others and seeing others thrive.
Yeah. Oh, the amount of entrepreneurs who are exactly the way that you describe with the youth and the coaching of the youth. We put so much of our, not just our energy and our time, but it feels like pieces of ourself into our business and into our message, that many of us go through burnout, go through overwhelm, and some of our bodies start to break down. What would you say to those people in those moments, whether it is the youth or whether it's entrepreneurs and people with messages like you, when they're in that moment of just putting out too much without allowing in? What did I guess you need to hear in your moment of not looking after yourself?
You have to take care of yourself. The best project is yourself. You can't fill a cup if the kettle isn't full with water. If you're a tea drinker, you can't fill that coffee cup if that coffee pot is empty.
I was like, I got water, but you can't see my tea. But yeah.
Yeah. You got to be able to take care of yourself so you can help others. Sometimes when we start out, we think we're being selfish.
Yeah.
When we have, sometimes, yeah, you're putting 2 hours in at the gym, but what about everybody else? Mm-hmm. I look back on it and I say, I'm a better me. I'm a better me so I can help you be better. Someone said, which I love their quote was, would you rather give your family ground beef or sirloin steak? Sorry for those vegetarians out there. But I'd rather give my family and my friends top quality food. Give them the top me. And if you're not taking the time for yourself, you can't give them the best you. So take the time for yourself. Yeah, it seems selfish, but I believe I'm a better coach, a better teacher, because I take care of myself. One, I'm an example of what can be done because my players see my transformation. The community see my transformation. Two, I can back it up. I can ask them to work hard because I'm working just as hard. My students don't like it because I go through fitness classes instead of regular dodgeball sometimes. But I'm making them better.
Yep.
And if I can't be an example of hard work, then I can't ask someone else to do hard work if I'm not willing to do it myself. So yeah, you got to be selfish. You got to be selfish to help others. is not really selfish.
Exactly. It's taking care of the self so that you can grow the self to expand around the others.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this show is about amplifying your message. And I want to know, what are some of the many ways that you've decided that you want to share this message? So yeah, there's the typical speaking and writing books and that kind of stuff. What have you chosen? Why are they right for you?
For me personally,
Yeah.
speaking. It's a passion of what I do. I inherited it from my father, who at my brother's wedding had to write a speech. And I remember distinctly, he wrote 3 words on a cocktail napkin, went up there and spoke for 20 minutes. And I write my stuff down, not to his degree, but I write it down a little bit more. But the exhilaration I get from speaking and the passion, and people can feel my energy. People say, man, you're so energetic. It's not fake. It's not pre-mixed. It's just who I am when I start speaking and helping others. And I believe the best way for me to get my message across is to go out and see people in person. Go out and share that message in person. Yeah, I wrote the book, but I'll be honest, the book was a supplement to what I'm going to be talking about. I'm doing my podcast. I'm getting my word out there. I got a podcast with you guys. I've been on about 3 or 4 recent podcasts just to get out there and say, hey, being different, it's not only okay, it's great. Social media can only get you so far. Yeah. I got a huge audience on TikTok from 17 to 24, but I want to get in those gymnasiums. I shouldn't say I want to. I'm going to be in those gymnasiums impacting lives across, because I've seen what I can do in person. I've seen how I've helped kids who have worried about their identity. I'm not going to get into the whole identity thing, but I want them to know that it doesn't matter what you choose, what you believe, it's okay. And it's great. In fact, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but the strongest people I know are the ones who are willing to say, this is me. This is who I am. If you don't like it, that's okay with me, because I like me. I like me. And I'm great. And I want people to know that. Everybody doesn't have to love you. You love yourself first, and everything else will fall into place.
That's so sweet. I gave a gift of me singing a song to somebody that I know who's going through surgery to help them become more of the identity that they believe that they are. And the song was This Is Me from The Greatest Showman. And I could feel when I said that last one where you finally get the conviction of like, this is me. When I heard myself sing it, I started to cry and get goosebumps, because in that particular phrase, I actually believed it. And then this person sent me a message back saying, thank you so much. It's exactly what I needed to hear in that moment. And that's exactly your point. It's like, you need to feel it at your core. And that feeling that we had at the very beginning, that is what we're feeling, the exhilaration, the freedom that comes with that. Oh, so good.
I think it's such an important message right now. I think, in a world that can feel unsafe to a lot of people, your message is so, so important. Mm-hmm. And especially for our youth. Gosh, I wish I had somebody like you when I was in high school to tell me that it's okay to just be, weirdly quirky me. So yeah, I think that your message is so important. And as you've been talking, one of the questions that came up with your 3 words was, where does leader fall into passionate and empathetic? And I can see it and I can feel it and I can hear it as you're talking about what you want to do and how you help, and even just your definition of next level. It's not yours, it's theirs. I love it. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. And really, I wish I had someone like myself as well. I'm going to get a little bit personal here. And I realized this probably I was interviewed by the mayor a couple of years ago for Black History Month. And he said, if you could tell the youth what's the one thing you would tell them. And even before I started writing the book or my message, I said, be yourself. Because I'm going to share a little bit. I'm from Canada, not Northern Ontario, but up here in Canada. And we were one of the few Black families in the city. So I'm not knocking it. We were treated great. But I remember as a kid, everything I wanted to do was fit in. So I fit in with everybody else. I didn't really feel my roots and my culture until I was late in high school. And that's probably one of my life regrets. I don't have regrets, but it's the lesson I can teach the kids is that, yeah, I had great friends. I'm not knocking I had a great group of friends. But for me personally, I wish I would have allowed myself to be a little bit more different instead of trying. I spent my whole childhood fitting in. And it wasn't until I realized I didn't have to fit in to be great that I started to excel in life. And so, yeah, I can give these lessons to kids. Like I said, it's not a racist thing. It's just a thing that where I grew up. And I want people to know that it's okay to be different, to act different. People are still going to like you. And if they don't, they're not for you anyways.
It's so powerful when kids feel like somebody actually cares, especially when it's not somebody their own age, especially when it's somebody who may not be their teacher or their parent or family, right? Just some random person who maybe your coach who actually cares about them as a human being. So one of the things I stand for, Nigel, is what I say, I describe it as courageous connection. And what you're basically saying is that I can be loved and these kids can be loved exactly as they are in any given moment. I don't care how much you're struggling. I don't care how much you feel that freedom and excitement and exhilaration. You are loved and cared for every single step of the way. How do you feel that plays a role in that next level before I ask you how to find it?
I love that statement in that you really, everybody needs to be loved at every level where they're at. I also say you don't have to, you can accept it, but don't settle for it sometimes. If you're not happy with it, don't settle. Accept it, but don't settle. But keep getting better and love people for who they are and where they're at. Because like Lisa talked about, it's so tough to feel safe today. Create that safe environment and let people make mistakes. Let them be different. Let them know that I got you no matter what you do. And that is so important. Let them know that I got you. I don't have to agree with you, but I got you. And I admire your strength. My youngest daughter, she's going through her own stuff right now. She's doing great. She hasn't decided what she wants to do, but she is so awesome. She's different. I'm going to offend some people. She wore a fur coat the other day. She's 21 years old. She wore my mother's fur coat up in Blue Mountains. Now, I'm not saying fur is right, but my girl, she rocked it. She rocked this nice long fur coat, and she don't care because she just rocked it because that's who she is.
Aww.
And I love her for that. I just love her for that because she is who she is.
That's beautiful. Nigel, I want to make sure that we know where to find you and what your favorite way of communicating is.
Where to find me is www.coachromany.ca. So it's CoachRomany.ca. Email is coach, COACH, at coachromany.ca. Email is the favorite way.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nigel. And I always love to just take 30, 60 seconds or something at the beginning of an interview to just ask if there's anything on your heart or in your mind that you just need to share with people. What would it be?
Be yourself. Be yourself because that's what makes you great. Be better every day. Acceptance is good, but settling is not. Be better. Be a better you. It's worth it.
Aw. I love that so much. I want to say thank you for being here and for joining us. I loved every minute of it.
Thank you so much. I had a great time.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Well,
Nigel.
Thank you, folks.
bye.